today we're going to present a explanation of various terms and concepts around math, and we are team 2.
Specifically, we are going to see the following terms, which are domain and range, functions, relations, and the real-life example of a problem relating to these terms. In math, we have two very important terms that we need to, that most Cartesian planes contain, and most problems of relations and functions contain, which are domain and range. Domain is always x and the input of a problem. So, in a Cartesian plane, domain will always be the side line. The range will always be y, which equals the output. Y is the downwards upwards line. It is usually used for things such as height in problems, and domain is usually used for things such as time, or to represent a more important variable than the range.
Now I'm going to explain what a relation is. A relation is a correspondence between two variables that change together. For example, if the input is time and the output is height, it would change. If you throw a ball to the air, it would change over the course, because the more time, it could have more height or less height.
So next up is a function. A function is a certain type of relation in which each input appears only one time. So for example, here we have input 1, 2, 3, and the outputs are 4, 5, 6, in which they don't repeat the input, so it's okay. Here we have 1, 2, 3, and we have 7, 5, and we can see that 2 and 3 are sharing the same output, but that doesn't make it not a function. It's still a function. And then we have 2, 2, 5, and 1, 2, 3. And here comes where it is not a function, because you have two inputs.
More in depth to conclude, and we're going to show a real life example. For example, throwing a baseball. So if we wanted to grab this kind of information, we have two important variables that we can conclude out of throwing a baseball. How much time it takes and that it's in the air until it falls down, and what's the height as the time is going on. So for example, here we have our time and our height. Here we have meters, and here we have seconds. We didn't show that, but it's alright. So just seconds and meters. That's our variables, okay? So as our variable of time goes on, first it's gonna climb up, because a ball, when you throw it, it's gonna climb up. And then later on it's gonna fall, so it's gonna lower down. But see here, right here, we have a function because we have a repeating value over here, but not over here. So that's alright. And finally it will just fall down. So we can also use this information, these variables, and we can use this x and y to graph it in a coordinate plane. So right here, you have the kind of what it would look like, what the ball would look like. It's gonna go up and then it's gonna go down over time. And that's kind of a visual representation of something that happens in real life. And like you can take all these aspects of the relation, the function, this function that we make here over two variables, and how they change and how it would look like in real life.